Here we are in round two, and our opponent, the 52, it's an interesting game, has won the die roll and is deciding to play first. Alright, they're going to play first. This hand is not the best, but we have all the good things with our sack outlet and two lands, so I think we can try this. I think we can. We'll see if it comes and screws us over, but we have a one drop, and then we can follow that up with a Dragon Egg or a Blood Baron. Probably the Blood Baron and then the Dragon Egg, because that way we can attack with the Blood Baron through something. Let's see what he does. I suppose we should say good luck, have fun. Good luck, have fun. Smiley face. It's interesting, it's never actually occurred to me before. Is there magic online in different languages? Like, I just always assumed that it was English. I guess it's probably in like options or something. Settings. Oh well, I'll check it out later. I just hadn't thought about it. Like, what if you're playing somebody who's from a different country, or is it like a server thing? Do do you only play people on the North American server? All right, played his land. Well, we drew a good card, but we need to draw some lands. Two landers on the draw are always scary, because you're always, if I draw this land, alright, he just wants to shock it so I get no value. An interesting play. I don't think it's particularly bad or wrong. He probably has a one drop. Oh, never mind. I meant like a two drop with. Well, we drew a two drop, which we'll happily trade for the Sentinel Sliver, I think, depending on if he has a follow up play. Because I think our deck has better late game. Oh, he's Naya Slivers. Shoot, that's bad news, Bears. We now have to draw very well. Dang it. And we don't draw the land. Son of a biscuit. Why do these things happen to good people? And we can't attack because of the vigilance. So we are probably just going to get run over right now. Obviously, we'd love to trade with the Predatory Sliver. Alright. We are on a kind of a fast clock, which is unfortunate. Alright. Well, we drew the land. I'm not sure what we play. I mean, our Fire Cat will let us trade with any of these things. So if he attacks, he would tap down the Fire Cat, and then we block there. We would take 3, go to 13 essentially, and he would be down a Master of Diversions. If we play a Blood Baron, he taps down the Blood Baron. I think we play the Fire Cat here. It demands the most amount of things. And we just want to 1-for-1 him right now. He's almost out of cards. So if we can just survive long enough, we will probably get there. We just need to draw some lands or draw some removal spells. I think our opponent might be duo queuing because he's taking forever to respond to things. So he's probably duo queuing. I don't say that's a bad thing. I just say it leaves your opponents a lot of downtime that isn't really necessary. Like right now we're sitting here twiddling our thumbs while he's finishing another play in a different match, which I think is a little rude to both players if you're duo queuing, but I don't frown on people who do it because you could get a really bad draft pool in one of the things and you just don't want to play the matches, so you go and start another one. I'm not saying that's like bad or anything, but it is kind of annoying because then stuff like this happens where you're just sitting there and you're like, well, I'm waiting for my opponent to play, but he's not doing anything. I'm gonna pause until he gets back. Okay, he's back now. His play is very strong. Like if since we stumbled on lands, we're really far behind. But if we didn't stumble on lands, we probably would be in the game with a fighting chance. But we stumbled on lands. We took a risky keep, and it's biting us in the butt. So, but he does have a Goblin Diplomats, which is a very strong card. He's just gonna make us attack. And we didn't even draw a land now. If we could have marked of the Vampire, we could have gotten back in this game, I think. So, I think we play our Dragon Egg, because it gives us another thing to sack to Blood Baron. He's probably going to make us attack here, to be honest. That's what I would do. And I play this phase because he's going to want to make us attack. So I want to make sure we got everything on the board that can block. I mean, he's got 3, 5, 7, 11. He's got 15 points of damage. I think we want to gain the 2 life here. We don't want to force through damage. We would much rather be at a higher life total. I guess if we dealt 4, and so if we dealt 8, he goes to 12, but that doesn't even really matter. We're playing to the hopefully a bit longer game. What happens if we race? He goes to 12. Next turn, if we micro the Vampire on the Dragon thing, we have a 4/4 that can have a 5-point life swing. That doesn't seem good enough to me. So I don't see. I don't think we're racing. I still don't see how we win this. We just drawn so many non-land cards. We drew Minotaur, we drew Death Gaze, we drew Mark, we drew Mind Rot. It sucks, but it happens. When he attacks with everything, we wait for him to tap something. We are going to put a dude into play. I mean, I think we have to block the Predatory Sliver. Even if we're going to get blown out, there's no other way we're getting back into this game. We got to try. He's probably got Giant Growth here. Oh, a Root Wall, sure. Oh, we drew our land. So we got a few choices now, actually. We are at 7, and he's going to attack with 4. He's going to attack with a lot. If we play Death Gaze, we can block the Root Wall and take 2, 4, take 6 damage. So we would go to 1. right? That's 2, 4, 6. We would trade with the Root Walla, right? We would trade with the Root Walla. But if we play Mark of the Vampire here on the Rathan Firecat, right? We would deal 6 damage to him, and if he has to double block to kill it at this turn, right? Because it's gonna have 3 points of toughness. So if he wants to get rid of it, he would have to double block, and we would gain 6 life to go to 13, and that's 4, 8, 10. So he can only deal 10 on the crackback, and our Blood Baron would live. So I'm gonna go with the life plan right now. Once again, any pump spell really kind of screws us over, but he would have saved his Predatory Slayer if he had a pump spell, in my opinion. So I don't know what his last card in hand is. It could be a land, but he was out of cards at one point, so why would he sandbag a land? So he's giving us the option to not attack, but this would tap it down anyway, so we might as well attack. Just try to get full value out of it. And if he taps with Goblin Diplomats, he doesn't have the option to get rid of the Regathan cat thing. So I think, once again, our opponent, I believe, is double queuing, so we're going to have to sit here for a while. I'm going to pause until he comes back. Sorry, guys. Oh, he's back. So we're going to attack with both. So he's not going to block. That's interesting. We're at 13, so it's gonna. If he has enlarge, I guess we're dead. But yeah, I think we were dead to enlarge anyway. 2, 4, 6, 8. Enlarge is 15 damage. So if he has enlarge, we're dead. But that's the way it goes. If we draw a land, we don't even have to draw a land anymore. Like, we're just gonna play Death Gaze and hope to survive. If Lightning Talons would be an amazing draw right now, just giving us first strike, that would be a bonkers draw. Like, I think we wouldn't even play our Death Gaze, we would just play Lightning Talons, because 9, so 2, 4, 8, 9. They would even have just 9 toughness if he pumped Root Walla. I'm assuming he must have 2 lands in hand, because if he had like pretty much any spell or creature wins it for him here. So I assume that he's trying to figure out how to win with his current board state. He's going with the all-out Alpha Strike. Okay. I too like to live dangerously. 2, 4, 6, 8. So he'd have to have double giant growth to kill me if he's Alpha Strike. He's keeping 1 back, okay. Our opponent is thinking. And if he doesn't play a spell, we can Mind Rot just as security if we want to. Though I think we'd just rather slam our Death Gaze than anything else. Alright, tap whatever creature. It's a trap because they're both tapped. What? Okay, it's just the activation, sure. So we take 6, 8. Alright. We go to 5. Does he? But he doesn't have enough mana to Lava Access. That is a problem. There goes our lifelink. So I think that makes us lose, but if he didn't have a Chandra's Outrage, we would have most likely won. Alright. Really, he's blocking. So if we drew a land, we would have lived there because we could have ring-fleshed this thing. So much land problems. If we had a land, though I guess Master of Diversion still taps it down. So then let's concede game and let's go to game two, which was it was actually pretty close considering us just dying on lands for so much. But now we know that he's playing slivers, so removal is going to be a good thing for us to have. I don't think we want to duress. Chandra's Fury was really annoying, or whatever that was. Chandra's Rage, Chandra's Outburst, I forget what it is. But if he didn't have that, we would have been in much better shape. But sometimes they just have the removal spell, and you die, and it's sad. And everybody cries and all that stuff. But I don't know what else our deck could really use against him other than getting our lands correct. I mean, Pillarfield Ox is a consideration. Like, it is very good against his deck, in my opinion, because he's got a lot of 2-power guys. I don't know. I don't think we want it as much. I think we'd rather have it than Altar's Reap, to be honest. Mind Rod is an option. Just try to run him out of cards. Let's try that. Yes, I would like to play first. So we drew enough land, except we have both 2 splash cards, so we essentially have a mulligan to 5. But it is an okay mulligan to 5, so we're going to keep. And his duo queuing is kept taking him low on time. So if we can win this game and go to game 3, we could get him on time. That's just one of the possibilities. Though we do have to win this game, so we are going to be in a little bit of a hard spot to do that. We didn't really want to draw land there, at least not another swamp. So we are now getting land flooded, which is the exact opposite of what last game was. Predatory Sliver? Nope, Goblin Diplomats. And another red card we can't cast. So we are getting doubly screwed in this game, which is okay. I mean, I think we Mind Rot because we just want to survive. So if we Mind Rot, we probably get a few of his cards. Why would he board in a Naturalize? Maybe he just had a main deck one. So I doubt he would have discarded the land if he didn't have enough already. So we didn't really get anything good with it, but ouch. No 3-drop. Alright, well we have a Quag Sickness if he ever plays anything threatening. I don't feel like we should get rid of the Goblin Diplomats, because it's a 10-turn clock. We have a long time before we have to play anything to deal with it. Well, we're drawing all our swamps, and no other spells. So our deck is malfunctioning the opposite way than it did last game, which is okay. I'm not going to curse the deck gods or anything, but it is a little bit frustrating. I'm just happy to know that we have a removal spell. If he has something amazing we need to deal with. So I guess we'll play our Child of Night. I'm assuming his hand's probably like full of removal or something. That's why he hasn't been playing a creature. He had a hand full of removal and just decided to keep it. So there's his white, so that probably was also a stumbling point. Alright, Goblin Shortcutter. A lot of 2-drops. So he's being the aggressive deck now. We got a lot of good draws right now. Nightmare is really good. Plains is actually pretty good too. I think we just want to sit. Like, we don't care if he has 2-1s on the board. I'd rather trade the Child of Night for an attacking creature. He is going to make his attack with his Goblin Diplomats, probably. Alright, got a Sliver. So he's got mana open. Oh, geez, this is rough. Because if I mark and then he's got a Chandra's Outrage, we just get so blown out here. And then here's my next question. It's like, is the Sentinel Sliver the problem? Because that allows him to still get aggressive, but I think the Goblin Diplomat is really being a butthead right now. Probably should have killed it before. He only has 2 cards in his hand, so... I mean, he gets to block how he sees fit here. And getting rid of the Pillar Field seems like a good idea to me, but he can do what he wants. Or maybe he thinks he can race us. Alright, so he wants to get rid of the lifelinker. So he's trying to race us, if that's what he's doing then. A shock. Why did he do that? What? Okay, sure. I was confused why he blocked, then he shocked, but he was probably preparing for some kind of combat trick. No reason not to attack here, really, for him. If he taps low here, we probably mark. Alright. He's still got 4 mana up. There's our mountain. We're at 8 life. That's pretty low. What does he have? If he has that Chandra's thing, we are just so boned. We're probably not winning at that point. So I think we play our Fire Cat and then mark here because we have to. So otherwise we're just going to die. If he's got it, he's got it. It's kind of like last game where that spell would just blow us out. Okay, he didn't do anything at combat. But I don't see any benefit of marking this turn, because then he just Chandra's Outrages, right? But it gives him another turn to draw it, so... Dot, dot, dot. Thinking, geez, why is he doing this? I mean, he taps it down, right? I think if we wanted to do this, we should have done it last turn. Oh, screw it. We just gotta go for it. See if he's got it. And if it resolves, he's out of Chandra's Outrage. Okay, so he did have it. And that goes the game. But if we had a Ring Flesh, we wouldn't be dead. But so this match was just not very good for us. But I will see you guys next one.